All right, good evening, everybody. So the Yankees win another game. They win another series. Like 4-0 against the Minnesota Twins. Aaron Judge is on fire. 4 for 5. Was he 4 for 5 today? 4 for 4. Um, with a monstrous home run. Anthony Volpe was on the board. Giancarlo Stanton produced some runs as well. But it's good to see Aaron Judge back in a groove. And once him and Juan Soto are really rocking and rolling together at the same time, oh, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's not always fun being a Yankees fan, but it's always meaningful, at least in my opinion. And there's nothing, not many better things in the world I consider to be than a Yankee fan. So, and but shout out to all of you on here. The Yankees win again, 4-0. They win another series. Marcus Stroman 6 shutout innings, 2 hit ball. It was fantastic. Luke Weaver came in. Caleb Ferguson came in. They all shut him down. They all shut him down. But shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Jonathan Quinn. Jack. Jonathan. Consiglieri's here. Here he is. Yes. John Webster. Michael Genovese. What's happened? Shout out to everybody. Hit them likes, bang. Let's try to get over 100 likes as quickly as we can. Just celebrate this win. Celebrate this series win. Hit the like if you're happy that when the Yankees are playing. Now, they're 14 games over 500 right now. They are, 29-15? It's fantastic. Fantastic time. Unbelievable. Jack Dedios in the house. Yes. Yes, indeed. Al. Lou. What's up, Lou? DM. Yankee Mike. Matthew. Nosebleed. What's good? Richard. Mark. What's happening? Sean Browning's here. E. Palvis is here. Greg is here. Chris Schmidt's here. Wookie's here. Ken is in the house, too. Unbelievable. A sweep could be coming. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the Phillies I think they have 31. No, they have 31s now. I think I think they beat the Mets, so they probably have 31 runs now. Dev, what's happening? Bad baseball. What is good? Luke Weaver. I'm happy with Luke Weaver. I'm glad they signed him. He's an important part of the long relief crew. And this is the first time bad baseball that the Yankees have had. They could have multiple guys in long relief, which again, to me, serves as a security blanket for the rotation. Serves as a security blanket for the bullpen, the back end of the bullpen, the short power guys. So, and speaking of bullpen, I did see some chat here. We'll get to this too. There was a Yankees Cardinals blockbuster proposed today, and we'll get into that. It's not Goldschmidt, and I did see a Mason Miller comment too, the closer for the A's. I don't know. And constantly, where are you seeing this? There's rumors about a trade with the A's for Miller with the Yankees, giving up Roderick Arias, Chase Hampton, and Everson Pereira to the A's. Really? I have not seen that. I'd be curious to see where you saw that. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. But again, we have Clay Holmes, so I like Mason Miller. But again, he throws 100, 203. I worry about his arm. He missed 3 months last year with a shoulder problem. So he could be a ticking time bomb. I like the controllable years and the cheap salary, but is it worth giving up that much for a guy who could be a Tommy John guy in a year? But it's a risk, that any team would have to take, right? So, but he's clearly an exciting, dynamic pitcher. 31 wins for the Phillies. Okay, 31. Cadzilla's in the house too. But this is the other thing, Wookie, too. When Cole comes back, I mean, in my personal opinion, I would move Nestor to long relief. Okay, Schmidt and Hill have a higher ceiling as starting pitcher than Risto Cortez does. Nestor's much better at home than he is away. Okay, I think he would be fine in long relief, but at the same time, they could shop him in a trade too. The Cardinals, and there's a trade proposed here, and I'll get to it in a minute. It's an article I'm gonna pull up so you can see it yourself. And I already proposed earlier, like this week or the week before that, perhaps Nestor Cortez, one of their catchers, like Carlos Narvaez, one of our catching prospects, could be trade candidates to the Cardinals and the catcher would be replacing Wilson Contreras, who has a fractured arm. He's going to be out for a long period of time. So for maybe a dynamic player on a return, a dynamic multi-position player, or a dynamic relief pitcher or something. Okay, so I mean, it's possible. I don't know. And at the end of the day, like Nestor Cortez has two options, but I can't see him being optioned out. I can see him being traded or moved to long relief. But the question is, what's the Yankees' appetite? What are they going to try to do with Nestor Cortez, right? So, to a John Heyman, I mentioned Jason Miller might be on the wall. But I know that they've been receiving a lot of phone calls, the A's, on Mason Miller. There's no surprise. I'm not surprised on that. He's as good as it gets right now. NFV's in the place. There he is. NFV, what's up, brother? Torres, trades are definitely coming, Ben. I don't know how many, and we're still a ways away from the trade deadline. So, but this is when things start to pick up, right? This is when people start to chat, and and fans like to play mock GM. And when you have beat writers put up proposals, it's going to stir up a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions and so on and so forth. So with it, I'm going to post this right now, and we'll go over this. Okay, this is Yankees are linked to Cardinals All-Star duo and possible blockbuster trade. The Yankees could end up surprising some people this summer around the trade deadline. Okay, now this is from Inside the Pinstripes. Okay, this came out today. Okay, and shout out to the boys in the group chat for sharing this. I'm part of a fantastic group, and we share a lot of baseball information with each other. And why is this scrolling all the way down? Here we go. Okay. So, with the New York Yankees' performance so far this season, it isn't surprising hypothetical trade proposals are starting to be mentioned. They're currently 28-15, now they're 29-15. They have the top record in the American League overall and are in a great spot. New York will get even better soon with Garrett Cole and DJ LeMahieu, both nearing returns from their injuries. Now, they're in a good spot and will wind up being buyers at the head of the trade deadline as they look to win their first World Series since 2009. And that's been the biggest complaint, that they haven't won a World Series in like 14 years, right? Well, they're finally in a spot where they can maybe make a run for it, like a legitimate run for it. So there should be some intriguing players available, and one team you already mentioned, excuse me, are the Cardinals. Allergies, excuse me. St. Louis Cardinals. They haven't started the season off as they hoped and can be looking at their second straight year of being a seller. They have multiple stars who could be on the move, and fan sides Kurt Bishop proposed an intriguing deal between the Yankees and Cardinals that would bring Nolan Arenado and Ryan Helsley to New York. Ryan Helsley is their closer. Okay. He's their closer. And so this is another trade idea, for Yankees getting another relief pitcher, not named Mason Miller. Mason Miller is obviously going to be the most expensive, but obviously it looks like the Cardinals will be punting in 2024 at this point, Bishop said. Sure, there's still time for a turnaround, but right now we're looking at recording 2 consecutive losing seasons, which is almost unheard of for Cardinals fans. But if the Cardinals package Arenado and Helsley to the Yankees, they could get a massive return and add players who are major league ready and can help them accelerate to potential rebuild. Prospects like Oswaldo Cabrera can play multiple positions, including every outfield spot, third base and first base. Even DJ LeMahieu could be a solid addition, ultimately inheriting starting third base job to replace Arenado. LeMahieu could even be used as a designated hitter and split the duties between Matt Carpenter and Alec Burleson. While this is more hypothetical speculation, not a rumor, it would be an intriguing deal for New York. Arenado and Helsley could fit important needs for the Yankees while helping take the club to the next level. If a deal like this is even slightly a possibility, New York should give St. Louis a call. Now, again, right? What is it? What are y'all thinking about this? I'm really, really curious. And clearly, this is a hypothetical talked about by some beat writers, but it makes you think, right? And at first thought, I'm like, okay, let me see. If I was going to trade somebody between Oswaldo and DJ, it would probably be DJ, because if we're going to take on about $28 million of Arenado, I'm going to want to offset the 15 for DJ, right? But now, Arenado's 32. He's not having a great year, and he's got $28 million a year for 3 more years after this. So is it going to be worth it? I don't know. If it were me, I would just go for the reliever and no one else, Halsley. Maybe you can get a Nestor Cortez and one of the catching prospects for Halsley himself. And he went 9-1 last year. Okay, he had 19 saves, so he actually had a pretty good season last year. Okay, and Ryan Halsley, and I've got it right here. Um, this year he's 2-2 at a 135 ERA and 23 Ks, .85 WHIP. Okay, he had 91 with 19 saves and 23 opportunities, a 1.25 ERA last year. Okay, 94 Ks versus 20 walks and a .74 WHIP in 64 innings last season. So he was a beast last year, and he's continuing beast mode this year, right? So, and that to me seems like a more logical trade. I would rather keep DJ LeMahieu. I understand Nolan Arenado's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I get that, and he's got beast stats, but he's not having a great year. Could this be the end? Could this be the start of a decline for him? Maybe. But I would rather pay 15 for average production from DJ than 28 for average production from Nolan Arenado. But that's just me. Yeah, well, to your point too, NFA, I would, yes, amen to this. I would have said yes to Arenado in 2018. Yes, I would have done the same thing. This is a different time now. So at this point now, I don't know if we need Arenado. You can keep Oswaldo Cabrera at third base, but now you've also got opportunities like because what happens when DJ does come back? Where does he play? Who goes out? We have Birdie here. You have and Impossible Peraza is knocking a snot off the ball right now. 3 home runs in his first 6 games. Now he's also been known to murder minor league pitching at every level, but hasn't translated yet to the major league level. So that's another area where he needs to be better. And maybe James Rosen, the new coach, will get more out of him offensively at the major league level, right? I don't know, but I sure as hell hope so. But yeah, the time for Goldie and Arenado is coming. Yeah, could you imagine that, Ben? It'd be crazy. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like Arenado is an absolute Hulk, but he's having a down year. Okay, and which is why I don't see the need to, as much as a blockbuster would be. I would rather trade, if I could, trade Cortez and one of our catching prospects to the Cardinals for that relief pitcher. That to me would be a more productive trade for the Yankees. So to me it would be a more productive trade. Buckeyes in the house. Yes, he does. He fills the first and second. Yes, he most certainly and third. So he's got and Oswaldo. Yeah, I mean we've got some productivity here. So and there's no guarantee that Nolan Arenado would make the team better. And we shipped them DJ and Oswaldo. I mean that it could do more for the Cardinals than Arenado could do for the Yankees. So I would prefer that relief pitcher. And if you can get another, if you're going to move a Oswaldo Cabrera, I'm going to want to get somebody like Brandon Donovan back here who plays multiple positions as well and he hits lefty. So that's more indicative of a trade that I would like to make. But if I could just get Ryan Halsley here and not worry about it, it's going to cost a hell of a lot less than trading for Mason Miller. That's for sure. But you'd still get a very good pitcher with several controllable years. Now he's a little bit older than Miller. He's 29, but he's got controllable years. And I would pair him with Clay Holmes if Clay Holmes came back. Right? Rather than giving up. And Consigliere, let me know where you found that rumor about Arias and Hampton and I don't know, Evan Pereira to the A's for Arias. Because that would be like, as much as I wouldn't want to give up Arias, we still have a lot of other guys here. George Lombard. The initial ask I thought was going to be Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez, and I would say immediately no. Immediately no. Not for a relief pitcher. No way. I wasn't even going to give up Spencer Jones for 1 year Corbin Burns or 2 years of Dylan Cease. So there's no way I'm going to give him up for Mason Miller. Much as I might like Mason Miller, but the fact is we have Clay Holmes right now. He's got a 0.00 ERA. So, Buckeye, are those his sources? Man, we have so many people with sources, man. Sources and connections, man. Right? Yeah. No, this is Wink. This is a personalized group chat through phones with a couple of people. So like a select group of people for content creators that we trade ideas and things back off each other. This is no offense to you, Wink. This is our own little thing. our own little baseball nerd thing. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is the thing too. Yankees have a boatload of infielders. You got Peraza. I mean, all these guys. Cerner. You got Caleb Durbin. You got T.J. Rumfield. Like, there's so many guys that are interchangeable here. And you've got John Burry here for another. You have him. You've got Oswald Peraza when he comes back. So like the list just goes on and on and on and on. And so we have enough guys here. And Yorbit Vivas. I mean, mention him. There's enough guys here so that when Gleyber Torres moves on, most likely at the end of the year, maybe he gets traded. I don't know. Maybe he gets traded at the deadline, which can facilitate some of the same field move for the Yankees. All right. So I don't know what's going to happen. All right. We got 70 likes. We need 30 to get to 100. If anybody hasn't hit that like button yet, please do so. We got 150 people in here. Let's blow past 100, gang. It's always helpful when we get between 100 and 150 likes. And the goal, as you can see on the bottom here, I'd love to get to a buck 50. So it means the world when we do that. I thank you so much for it. Arenado Don is 32 years old. He's 32. So, Ethan, I can't see any scenario why they would trade Marcus Stroman. Why would they do that? He's been a consistent producer here on the pitching rotation. I can't say. I would rather trade Cortez than Stroman. Personally, that's just me. No, this is true too. This is a good point. See, I like when you all make good points, and it brings a lot to the conversation. He does have more. He would have more protection in the Yankees lineup than he would in the Cardinals, just pretty much with Goldschmidt. So that is a great point, Chris. Mm-hmm. Roster still expanded to 40. Yeah, I do, Wink. I really do. I wish they would expand to 40. I don't think Nestor's better than Stroman. Not for the Yankees. Zachary Reimer of Bleacher Report. Did he, Consigliere? Did he say that? Okay. Interesting. Stanton Arenado. I can't see. I can't see the Cardinals doing that, Jack. Stanton for Arenado. They would probably get more production from Arenado. He's younger. He's healthier. So, but again, Stanton's doing exactly what fans wanted him to do, right? They want him to produce. They want him to stay healthy. And that's exactly what he's doing this year, which is one reason why I do not see them moving on from him for Jason Dominguez. I just don't. So was that Zachary Reimer? Let me see. I'm looking. Reimer, Bleacher Report. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if he's on Twitter. See if I can find something with Reimer here. All right. Thank you, Consigliere. Yeah, so this is one. That's why I can't see it, Jack. I mean, honestly, Arenado has probably too much value for the Cardinals, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to unload his contract. But they wouldn't be unloading; they'd be taking in more than he would be giving up in terms of contract for Arenado. No, 97 likes. We need 3 more to 100. He's 33 now. Okay, so he's 33, and what's DJ 35? So, Antonio, I mean, for Mason Miller, I'm gonna guess, and because for some reason a lot of people are talking about this now. So, I'm gonna guess the A's are gonna ask for either Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones, and then some after that. 99 likes, or we got 100. Let's try to get to 150 likes, gang. Let's see if we can get to 150 likes in the next couple of minutes. If anybody hasn't hit the thumbs up, please do. Let's blow past 100, gang. I thank you. Cease for Nestor and Prospect. Yeah, I can't see that. I can't see them trading for Cease now. I don't think the Padres are going to give him up. They added Cease and they've added Luis Arias. I can't see the Padres. I think the Padres are going to add at the deadline. Who? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I could see them adding. Well, I think too, Maverick. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Giancarlo Stanton's have a good season. He's made adjustments. He's healthy. And again, like, he can miss 50 games and he still hits 25, 30 home runs. If he gets a full season, maybe he gets over 30. And he's got 9 right now. He's tied with Juan Soto. Aaron Judge has 11. So we could have 3 guys that 30 to 40 home runs this year. We could. So, well, that's the thing, Ben, right? He's the get right now. And he's like the flavor of the month that everybody's talking about. But he throws 102, 103, but there's so many other guys that threw that already in the majors. So he's not doing much different, which is why I don't buy into the whole hype from Roki Sasaki. That's people's argument. Oh, he throws 100, 203. So what? So do other people, right? And I don't want your arm to fall off. And he's had injury problems already, Mason Miller. So that's my worry. I do agree. I do think he has Tommy John in the future. If he continues to throw that. Yeah, I would agree. So, and that's yeah, I mean, this I could see this being more Brian B. I think this could be more realistic. Glaber to Torah to Seattle for a pitching prospect or something. Yeah, I could see that being more realistic personally. And I'm with you too, NFA. I would pass on Mason Miller. I would pass on him. Yep, exactly, Wookie. I wouldn't give up the Martian or Spencer Jones for him either. Mm. Yep, Arenado's got 3 more seasons at a pretty big. He signed a 5-year, $144 million contract extension. So he's got 5 more. Excuse me, got 3 more big years after this one. So he signed through 27. So he's got 25, 26, 27 at around 31 million a year. That's big money. DJ makes half that. People think he makes a lot. Arenado makes twice the amount that DJ makes. So it would be a creative, almost a creative nightmare for the Yankees in terms of payroll. So even though they have a lot of money coming off the books, I don't know that that's the ad that they want to make right now. But you never know. You never know. They could shock the world. They really could. They could say, you know what, F this, we're going for the whole gusto. We'll bring these guys in. They could do that. Or they can go for Ryan McMahon from the Rockies, who's got like 5 years of control left, who's a third of the price of Arenado. And he would probably cost just as much. So there's another third baseman that could be available that, a couple other folks like in our group chat mentioned too. I've talked to NFE about it. I've talked to Mikey Maz from Ford Train Express. Talked to Tats from Pinstripe Chronicles about Ryan McMahon. So, and his name's being floated around too. But again, at the end of the day, they've got Peraza, they've got Oswaldo Cabrera. They have guys here that they could also let play. George Lombard, was he 19? He's developing. So, and Mason Miller has 3 blown saves already. Clay Holmes has 0. Right? Yeah, well, exactly. We saw the hype with Yamamoto. And Imanaga, he's 5-0 with like a .9 ERA. Shota Imanaga, and I predicted him to be the best Japanese pitcher out of the major leagues this year. So far, he's proven to be true. So I don't like levying this ridiculous hype to people. No, but yeah, but this is it is a plus for Miller. He's making pennies to the dollar, 4 or 5 controllable years. Holmes is a free agent. If he continues to play the way he's playing, he'll make at least $10 million a year. There's no doubt about it. But at what cost? At what cost I think that's the main question of the day, because the A's are going to ask for Dominguez or Jones, and the fact is, if moving to Vegas, you're either going to keep Miller, and if you move Miller, you got to replace him with somebody that's going to excite people in Vegas, and Dominguez or Jones would do that. So I could see him going to Baltimore Orioles. I could. They have a lot of prospects to give up, and they'd probably be much more willing to overpay for him. And the fact is they're was it Batista? He had Tommy John. They brought in the hell's his name? Closer Craig Kimbrell. He's doing okay, doing pretty, And then next year they have Batista back, but Kimbrell was only here for a year, so they replaced Kimbrell with a Mason Miller. It's a different layout in the bullpen for the Orioles. But I don't know if they're going to do that. But again, I'd rather them trade for him, and he goes down for Tommy John, and that's their problem, not ours. So, and Ryan McMahon will be 30 in December. Yeah. And I think he's got 4 or 5 years left of control at about 10 million per year, or right around there. Jonathan, I don't know if you remember me. I mean, I wanted him in Naga too. I put out videos. I said, look, this has to be the alternative guy if a Yamamoto doesn't happen. This is another Japanese pitcher, a lefty pitcher. I gave a lot of different I talked about him a lot in Managa. People were like, oh, he gives that too many fly balls and thinking of something. That was the argument, the talking point from back in the day. He's dominating the majors right now. Dominating. So that's why I don't buy talking points. Got to see how he performs here. Not saying Yamamoto stinks, but right now Imanaga's better than him. Period. There's no denying that. Cashman Lights trade, yeah, but he doesn't like giving up the number 1 and number 2 prospect for him. If he can get him without giving those guys up, my guess is he'd entertain it. My guess is also they probably want to try to hold on to Roderick Arias if they can. But you never know. You never know. And I don't know, honestly, man. I mean, it's a good hypothetically, it's good, but I don't know where they would move Stanton to, right? I don't know. Oh, yeah. See, that's another guy, Wink. I'm glad you brought him up. Jeter Downs too. They would trade Glaber for prospects and then call up Jeter Downs. He's another guy, and in the infield, in the infield factory for the Yankees. They have so many guys. We got 117 likes. All right, we need 33 to get to 150. Can we do it? Yeah, well, that's the thing, Michael Ryan, right? This is like Greg Maddux. See, like he topped out at like 91, 92, but he located better than anybody in the world. That's why he had like 360 wins. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. He was an absolute Picasso on the mound. Freaking Van Gogh, Da Vinci. He was a mastermind on the mound. And he was never a power pitcher, ever. So, and that's the thing. I mean, Chicken Parm, what's up, man? The offense is fine, no need to add. This is the thing, too. Like, I would make tweaks around areas. Like, to me, their biggest issue right now is needing, not necessarily needing third base. They have that. They've got Birdie, they've got Cabrera. They can have that covered. They have DJ coming back, too. Is hitting into too many double plays. I would, if I was going to add somebody, I would want to get a speedy player, someone who would be very hard to double up, and that would be improving around the margins. Right now is where the Yankees probably can be best useful, right? There's no spot for Dominguez right now, so I don't see the point. You're not going to move Judge. You're not going to move Soto. Not going to move Verdugo because of the intangibles that he brings here, and he's an elite left defensive left fielder. Why would you move him? Doesn't make any sense. you know, Well, that's the thing too, Ken. If you're going to move Stanton, you're going to have to eat a boatload of his contract. That's a good point too. 100%. Thank you, Cruise Control. I appreciate you. Yeah. Volpe at second. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if their appetite, because now he's got a Gold Glove at shortstop. I don't know, but the fact is, Roderick Arias is the better defensive shortstop. So is Oswald Peraza. So you can be a net upgrade defensively if you move Volpe to second and have an elite defensive at shortstop. Now you got elite defense in both positions, which to me is a net increase in defense, a net upgrade. So I'd be fine with that. But the question is, will Volpe be fine with that? Right? You know, Lombard third. Yeah, I mean, Lombard third base, Arias shortstop, Volpe second base. You still have Yorbit Vivas too. It's like there's a lot of guys here. And look at Jeter Downs. Hit 268, 5 homers, 17 ribbies, 4 stolen base OPS. So he's producing, Kinsella. Yeah, he's producing, which is it's good. Like a lot of the guys that we have in the farm are producing, which we need them to do. Yeah, because at some point the Yankees will need some guys to come up here and play. There's always some kind of litany of injuries at some point, right? So, and there's no guarantee that DJ is going to come back at full force either. He could get hurt again. What do you do at that point? And then you got Peraza, you got like you have other guys there, Downs, Vivas. So I'm really curious to see. Personally, I don't think Volpe will get time at third base, only because of his arm strength. Right now I think he's fine at shortstop. He's got a great ability to get to the ball. So, and which he doesn't have to be as crafty with his throwing. Oswald Peraza he's a wizard with the glove and throw. So, defensively he's an upgrade over Volpe at shortstop, but it's hard to mess with what's working. It really is. Well, exactly, CMB. Like this is an elite outfield. Verdugo, Judge, and Soto, elite outfield, and it's really hard to dispute that. No, and right now, like the Yankees are in a good spot. You don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to mess with that. No. No. Biggio, Pedroia. Yeah. I don't be. Yeah, Ben. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved Peraza in the right deal either. It almost felt like it was inevitable they were going to trade Peraza for something, right? He could be part of a trade to the Cardinals. You never know. You never know. Or someone else. You know, like Well, exactly, and that's the thing too. Like we can't. It would suck, but we can't keep blocking guys. Yeah, we have too many guys in the infield right now. Too many, and the depth is just crazy. It's crazy. Roderick Arias, yes, yeah, he's only 18, maybe 19 now. So, but he's an elite beyond. He's the only guy in the system rated above Oswald Peraza defensively, and that's saying a lot. Oswald Peraza is already elite defender. This guy's like platinum elite, Roderick Arias. So, but he's young. He's got to develop. Guy, can't rush these guys. You know, But the man, I don't think I can't. I don't think Dominguez is going to get any playing time up here. None. He'll either be a September call up or you keep him in AAA, where he can play regularly and continue to develop and rehab. He's not taking any one of these guys' spots. That's my take on that one. No. Yeah. Well, yeah, Ken. He's got to show the ability to hit. He's got to get regular playing time in the major leagues too, in order to be productive offensively. There's no doubt about it. So, well, yes, he has produced in the playoff exactly. And that's one reason they got him here. He carried the team early in his Yankee tenure in the playoffs. He carried them. He murdered teams in the playoffs. So that's tough. Nothing yet on Brandon Maya yet, Pretty Brian. He's still really young. He's still developing. He's in like rookie ball or something. So I don't think the Martian's doomed. No, I mean, he's a highly touted prospect. They'll find. Well, keep in mind too, Verdugo is like. I mean, we don't know if he's coming back next year. He's a free agent after the year? They could give him a qualifying offer, and he can walk and get a contract somewhere else. And he only turned 28 today. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Alex Verdugo. So, um, he's young, can get a good deal. In a lot of places, he's a good outfielder. He's a solid contact hitter, so he could get a deal that would be much worth more than the qualifying offer. In which case, if he does that, the Yankees get 2 draft picks and an additional $1 million in international money. So, which will be it's good. They are linked to the top 2 international players, I think, the next 2 years or the next 3 years. So, any more money that they can get, it's going to be money in the bank. It's going to be helpful to them. So, to answer your question, Ben, I don't think the Martian's doomed. He just has to wait, and he's coming back from rehab. So, having Verdugo and these guys here means you don't have to rush Dominguez. They could just play him, let him rehab, take care of him, handle him with care, like the Phillies did with Bryce Harper. Right? They let him DH. They let him just come back slowly. They didn't put him in a position play until the beginning of this year, and worked out well. So I'm hoping that they do something similar with Bryce Harper with Dominguez. I really do. Where would Verdugo play? Well, that's not the question, Godzilla. Where would those guys play with Verdugo here? Verdugo's not going. He's not going anywhere. No, I don't think Dominguez. I don't think Jones or Dominguez. I mean, they might be September call-ups. Otherwise, they're going to be start next year in spring training and have a shot at making the team in 2025. My personal opinion. They still need more developing. Jones needs to have a little bit of taste of AAA, and so does Dominguez. Dominguez has to work his way through up to the system again too. So I'm not really worried about Verdugo. I'm not. So Giants closer will be Hicks. Yeah, Jordan Hicks. Well, they just signed him. If you're talking about Hicks, they're converting him to a starter. Um, it's pretty decent. They just signed him to I think it's 4 year, $44 million or something like that, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's Michael, man. I'm telling you, this is the Yankees were wise to surround some of their star players with quality role players, better depth, better bench player, better backups, and you could see how much of a difference it made. Especially with last year, they had no answer in left field. They had guys were playing out of position everywhere. This year, it's not that way. There's a consistency also in the lineup. I mean, that's not Boone's fault. They didn't. He had a lack of options last year. He didn't have a choice. Plus, he lost Stanton. He lost Judge for 60 games each. He lost Rodon. He lost I mean, and he lost Nestor Cortez. So he was dealing with a mess last year. An absolute mess. This is the first time that he's had a roster this good and this deep. The first time as the manager for the Yankees. So, yeah, and Hicks is pitching well, Kadzilla. He is. And just so yeah, Stephen B. Dominguez needs regular bats, just like Oswald Peraza does. And if these guys are going to continue to produce and get better, they need regular playing time. So that's why it makes more sense, in my opinion. If you're not going to trade them, keep them in AAA. But if you're not going to keep them in AAA, then trade them. I'd rather them playing somewhere else or AAA playing every day than sitting the bench in the majors. That doesn't really help their development, unfortunately. So, right? Oh yeah, I remember Michael. Deep bullpen, yeah. Yeah, look, Weaver's doing this is why I'm gonna get JT Brubaker in a trade, a month ago with from the Pirates. So he's another guy they can add for long relief. And you guys have multiple guys that can play like the Ramiro Mendoza role and the Michael King role now. Weaver, you'd have Cortez, you'd have Brubaker. Like it would be a big advantage for the Yankees that I hope that they take advantage of. I really do. So well, exactly, Ken. They don't have anything to gain by bringing Dominguez up here. He needs regular bats. If he's going to get regular bats in Double A and Triple A, you keep him down there and let him develop. He's only 21 years old, so you know exactly. Let him fully heal. Let him get back to where the talented player that we know he is, and you go from there. Seriously, like that's what I would do. You know, is Luke Voigt playing in the Mexican League, David? Oh, fantastic. Ah, boy. Bench needs one catcher, two infield, outfield, more speed to replace Stanton Lane. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a decent balanced bench right there, Matt. Yeah, I would say something similar. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Shout out to Malik Weaver. He's stepping into the Michael King role. He really, really is. King got hit hard today, which stinks. He pitched a great game last time, but it's no surprise. It's tough to uh, convert to a starter than it is from a starter. So it's a little bit of a different skill set's a different scenario, but again, it's it's going to take some adjusting for him. It really is. Thankfully, they have Cease there and you Darvish and some of these other guys, so that they don't have to put as much pressure on Cease. I mean, on King, which is a good thing. Uh, yeah. No, next year, Godzilla. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dominguez and Jones will be up. No room for. Yeah. I mean, it's just look if Verdugo plays well enough for them to bring him back, then something will happen. I don't know what, but like, at some point, in an ideal scenario, like, look, if Stanton moves on, you can move Judge to DH, and you can move Stanton. You can have Jones and Dominguez in the outfield with Soto, right? Or Jones replacing Rizzo at first base, and what do you call it? Verdugo and Dominguez in the outfield with Juan Soto. Like there's a lot of options, but they're also contingent upon an injury. And I don't want guys to get hurt. I don't want Stanton to get hurt. I want him to produce while he's here. So, and I want Judge to stay healthy too. So, whatever's going to facilitate that, I think we need to do. In all honesty, yeah. Judge closing in, yeah. Who's got the most home runs right now? Is it Otani? He has 12. Yep. Luke Weaver was. Yep. I like converted starters that come into long relief. I think they're better suited than current converted relievers. Converted relievers in long relief. I do. Oh yeah, because I mean he played some first base in at Vanderbilt, Spencer Jones, and they gave him a first base glove. I don't know how much playing time he has at first base. They need to give him some reps, but like, and I know a lot of people say that we don't want to forfeit his glove, but he's not here for his glove. He's here because he can hit the ball better than most people. 470-foot home runs with ease. He sprays the ball with good hits, and he's made adjustments to his swing. So he would be known for his bat more than he would for his glove. And we'd already have an elite defensive outfield. So I think that needs to be considered at the very least. But yeah, yeah, this is the first time, Ben, that the Yankees have had this type of options for a long time. Which thankful. I'm really thankful that they have. Kyle Tucker's got 13 if you have 12. Okay, all right. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. In all honesty, Chris, I can't see. I mean, yeah, I could be wrong, but I can't see Marchand coming up just to play a few games here and a few games there. But you never know, Chris. You never know, man. I don't work for them, so and they clearly think differently than a lot of us do. So 126 likes. All right, we need 24 likes to get to 150. If anybody hasn't hit that thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up, gang. Let's try to hit that 150 likes milestone. That would be greatly appreciated. It would mean the world. Tucker's got 13 home runs. All right, on a crappy Astros team. That's okay. That's totally all right. Ben Rice is another. I personally think Godzilla, like he could be a trade candidate for an arm, or I don't know. He could be a trade candidate. He could be. But we'll see. And if you're like, well, the trade proposal was Nolan Arenado and Ryan. I forgot his first name. His last name. Their closer. Their closer, Michael. So that was their trade proposal. Yep, Arenado and their closer. Yep. Well, that's the thing, going guy, which I don't think they want to do. You know, come up here to constantly be optioned down. Like exactly, I don't think they want to do that. I mean, they know, and like those guys were never rated as highly as Dominguez is or Spencer Jones. Like these guys know they can't mess with Jones. They can't mess with Dominguez. You got to do it right with these guys. You have to. They're highly rated prospects. They're at the top, and like you've got to do right by them. You've got to do right by them. Yeah, Blanco, a 10-game suspension with the sticky stuff for the Astros. Yep. Yep. Heaney, Michael. Isn't Heaney with who's he with? The Rangers? 138 likes. All right, we need 12 likes to get to 150. 12 likes to get to a buck 50. Hit that likey button. I appreciate it. But good for Blanco getting that 10-game ban. The Astros can't keep getting away with all this damn cheating. So Pine Tor Rosen. I apparently Wink it was the sticky stuff. I think. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, Blanco threw a no hitter last year, Ben. Yes, he did. Yeah, Andrew Heaney was a Ranger last year. He took part in that World Championship team. Where he is now, I don't know. Yeah, Ben Rice too. 8 home runs, 14 ribbies, 5 stolen bases, 841 OPS. He's solid. He's solid. I just think I have a feeling he's blocked it in Spider Tack. That's what it is. Thank you. Um, I have a feeling he's blocked here in New York. So we'll see. Yeah. Well, that's yeah, exactly, Ken. This is to your point. Yes, great point. When you look at Dominguez, by adding him to the roster, puts the team over the top, you make the series. All right. If the answer is no, Dominguez should stay in the minors. Yeah. To let him keep playing to be put in a position where he can be the difference maker at some point. Got to do that. You got to let the kid keep developing. To reduce arm injuries, stop forcing kids to throw so hard at 12 years old. Stop having them throw off speed pitches at 12 years old. Work the lower body out during the season too. Get a combination of strength and use the legs more. People are not using their legs enough. So, smacky the likey. Oh God. Demon D, there he is. What's up? Cashman. I don't know, David. Has he always wanted Arenado? I mean, I would have taken Arenado like NFE said like 5 years ago. Now is a little bit of a different story, you know? But that's what I think, Jonathan, to reduce arm injuries. Being a former pitcher, that's one of the things that you learned. Like the kids should not be throwing off speed stuff at 13, 12. And they should wait until they're 17, 18 to throw stuff, throw off speed stuff. You gotta let their arm develop, the ligaments to develop. No. But there's so much pressure for kids to throw 95, 96 now, and sign an NIL deal to a major league this and be drafted in high school. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, Hey, well, exactly. I mean, they don't need to rush Jason Dominguez back now anyway. Just like they don't need to rush Garrett Cole back. Let take good care of these guys. Let Cole stretch himself out, right? He's doing well in his rehab right now. Let Dominguez do the same thing. Get reps. 140, or we need 8 likes to get to 150. All right, gang. Can we do it? Can we do it? Uh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, James, if you want a good player or players, you have to trade the good players. The question is the real question, if we make this deal, do we have a better chance of winning the World Series? That should be the real question, right? And yes, you do have to give to get. There's no doubt about it. But giving good to get good is not always, giving good to get the right fits, the right pieces is a different story. And good doesn't always mean it's the right piece. So that's where, it becomes a little bit more tricky. You know, can you see Judge from Envy? I don't know. I see him. I could see him DHing once Stanton moves on. Um, I don't know. It's a good question, and it's a good question. I went forward with a 4.39. That's actually not that bad, Robert Johnson for Heaney. He had like a 3,000 ERA when he was with the Yankees. So, but Matt, yeah, but left, yeah, bullpen, yeah, they have like a 2.1 ERA, the bullpen collectively. So, and like I do think if they move Torres, I mean, excuse me, Cortez, that they will look to add a lefty back to the bullpen because you have Canely coming back as a righty, you've got Efrost coming back as also a righty. I would think they would want to add another lefty to the bullpen. That's just my opinion, though. It's my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I do think Wink. I think not only will he, but I think he has to transition to DH full time to protect his career on the back end. Absolutely, got to keep him healthy. 100%. Yep. Well, exactly, David. Yes, learning how to spot their stuff, learning how to locate their stuff is so much more valuable and important than throwing 98 in high school. You could throw hard, but once you get to the higher levels, if it doesn't have movement, if you're not locating it properly, people are going to crush it. Absolutely crush it. So we need 3 likes to get to 150. All right, 3 likes. All right, can we get it? But yeah, at the high school level, they're taught to, yeah, as hard as they long for as long as they can. Yeah, and that's why you got bigger kids and stuff. But there's still, I've yet to see a strength training program that's conducive to functional movement, where they can, have a significant amount of lower body and core strength to complement the rotation and the violent movement they're going to have with their shoulder and their arms and their hips. I've yet to see it, which is why, like guys like Roger Clemens and Nolan Ryan had long, durable careers with hardly any arm troubles at all. They had huge lower body power, and they used it all. They used their whole body, and that to me is a big advantage. If I was them, I would be working my legs and learning how to spot pitches like Maddox. And if you can do both, I mean, you're in a good place. You're in a good spot. 150 likes. Thank you, gang. Greatly appreciated. I really, really appreciate you. 95 gets you signed. Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't get you. That doesn't mean you get signed to the first round. And that's the thing. Like first round, there's signing bonuses. After that, not so much. You can get signed to this and that, but you know, you got to get signed to the first round to get a guaranteed signing bonus. Oh, of anything lucrative in nature. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. We got 150 likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But that was the trade proposal, right? Thank you, Michael Ryan. Um, that was the trade proposal that was made earlier, right? And again, Cardinals, Yankees linked to the Cardinals. Ryan Helsley, who's their closer, and Nolan Arenado. That was the trade proposal that was made to the Yankees. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. They all throw 95, but do they move them? It's a different story. I like Pedro Martinez. He was 150 pounds soaking wet, but he threw hard, but he located the ball like no other. He was like essentially like a power pitching version of Greg Maddux. He could locate at a super duper human level, like and Maddox did the same. It's one reason why these guys are Hall of Famers, right? It's one reason why a lot of folks still go to Greg Maddox for learning. This is one reason I like Garrett Cole because he's to me is a power pitcher version of Greg Maddox. He's a thinking man pitcher. He's also a power pitcher. He has a plan. He knows how to execute. He's thoughtful in his responses. He knows how to answer questions. Knows how to talk about it. He's very knowledgeable with that type of stuff. He just happens to have the body of a Hulk. He throws 98 to 100 miles an hour on a regular basis. So, and he's thankfully he's a Yankee. So, yep, Helsley. Yep. I don't know, Ethan, how busy we're going to be, honestly, because how many holes do they need to fill? Not as many holes they had last year. So I do think they're going to keep their eyes out. If they feel like they're one piece away, I think they're going to be aggressive. I do think, but and again, we're still 2 months away from the deadline, so it could be a completely different situation then. Their needs can be completely different. So, you know, oh yeah, I think we're going to go on for Soto too. There's no doubt. They have to. They have to, and I think they know that. They know that. Yes, he is, Mr. Brian York, de facto co-pitching coach. He's a great, not he's a great, he's just a genius pitcher. He's You could see how he mentors his teammates, how much of an impact he has beyond what he does on the mound himself, which is really, really meaningful. He's worth every penny of his contract and then some. So I don't know, David, but if he is, whether he is or he's not, the impact he's making here is second to none. He helps a lot of his teammates out, and I really, really love that. So, and yes, he does. Stroman does love pitching for New York. Yes, he does. He made that clear. You could see it. His energy is here. And look what he did tonight. I mean, 6 shutout innings, a 2-hit ball. You know, who would you go all in for Burns? I wouldn't. I was like, he's going to be free agent at the end of the year, and he was just traded to the Orioles. There's no way we're going to get Corbin Burns. And at the end of the year, he's going to get a qualifying offer, and then I think the Orioles are going to sign him for at least $30 million a year. He's a beast, so he's going to cost a lot of money. But you know, at this point, I don't know if they're going to do that. I would not have traded Dominguez or Spencer Jones for him. Mm-mm. You want to get him in free agency? Different story. You don't have to give fork that money up, but you got to fork up 2 draft picks and international money because he will come with a QO if the Orioles don't sign him before the season starts next year. you know. Oh, Greg Maddox. Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick 5 pitchers for my all-time rotation, Maddox and the unit would be on it. Both of them would be on it, and Pedro most likely. Those three, like that. That's just like a ridiculous rotation. Those three, and I would probably add Sandy Koufax and Nolan Ryan or something like that. Like, good lord, no. Yeah, Stroman has an idea. He's got swag. He brings energy like Verdugo. You can't mess with that. They've done so much for the attitude and the energy levels and the focus of this team. You can't mess with that. You really can't. Robert Johnson, I could see 11-6 for the Jets and 9-8 for the Giants. I do think the Jets are going to have a little bit better record than the Giants will. I could see that. And Bob Gibson, yeah, David. I mean, I wouldn't complain if Bob Gibson was in my rotation either. Mentioned by Hank Stram, built the Astros staff and doing it for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, I mean, it's mentored by Hank Stram. Yeah, I mean, he was a great pitcher in college at UCLA, and he's just, you know, he's the best pitcher in baseball now. He's healthy. He's the best pitcher in baseball. Nolan Ryan, yep. Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver's another guy you got to consider. So, but yeah, I mean, the number one priority for the Yankees, I think, will be and should be Juan Soto. I don't think there's any doubt that they absolutely need to re-sign Soto. I mean, it's just it goes without saying. You know, yeah, I wish I would have seen Bob Gibson play too, like and Sandy Koufax. And I met Sandy Koufax at a Broadway show. Nice guy, but he was actually at a Broadway show with what's his name? Robert was it Robert Wagner? He's number 2 in Austin Powers with the patch on his eye. He was also Denozo's dad in NCIS. That guy, they went to see a show together. I met both of them. They were both really cool. Very nice guys. The Orioles won Helsley. Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna get somebody. The Orioles. I do think so. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool, David. I met Roger Clemens too at a Broadway show in the bathroom. We were taking a leak next to each other in urinals. Yeah, it's my claim to fame to Roger Clemens. My first Yankee game, oh god, it was I don't know, mid '80s, something like that. I remember Rick Cerone, like those. I mean, I was back. That was back in the day. Yeah, I used to go with my mom and dad all the time. So it was back in the '80s, Winkton man. Time when I've given anything for Arenado, but now I feel like, yeah, it's just gonna be too much, Eric. At his age, the cost is gonna be too much with his contract. Yeah, rumor Arenado for Bregman. Oh, good lord, that would be kind of a crazy trade for them to do. With Soto, I honestly, I don't think the Yankees would defer money. I don't think they would defer. They would just pay him the value of his contract. You know. Yeah, Robert Wagner, Chris Schmidt. Like, I don't buy the present value thing. So Shohei Ohtani signed the $700 million deal. People keep saying, "Oh, his present value is only 480." He's going to get every dollar of the 700 million, no matter what. Period. Present day value means nothing. He's going to get 700 million. Well, the man from Uncle Robert Vaughn, nice, nice. Every season he has sub 3 ERA. Who are you talking about, Kenzilla? I mean, Clay Holmes since he's been here, yes. Jose Fernandez, yeah. Jose Fernandez was a beast. May he rest in peace. But Arenado's not playing well. Bregman's not playing well this year. Yeah. Yep. Oh, it's just yeah, Ken. I mean, just imagine the rotation you can put together. Like, I had fun with Concierge and Texas Buckeye. We put together our all time righty rotation versus our all time lefty rotation. That was pretty crazy. That we had our all time righty team versus our all time lefty team, and it was absolutely filthy. I mean, that would have been an all time game right there, all time. Yeah, Randy Johnson. I mean, it's hard to not have Randy Johnson in the lineup either in the rotation. Yeah, I think he was 6'10", maybe. Accent. Accidentally see the big you. You're freaking crazy, Jack. Yeah. All right, David. I know, man. I don't think that Shohei Ohtani didn't know what was going. I doubt that. I don't buy that story that he had no idea what was going on. I don't buy the story. I just don't. I think he's being protected. And they're covering up for him because he's MLB's cash cow. But that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, man. It was good to see Ferguson pitch well tonight. We needed that. He needed that. And you're right. We do need two reliable southpaws in the bullpen. I like Victor Gonzalez. I like him too. So yeah, yeah. Jose Fernandez. Yeah, yeah. Didn't he tell Giancarlo Stanton that, or Stanton told him that? He's like, "Don't worry, man. In a few years, we'll be Yankees together." I remember one of them say that. I just don't remember which one said it. So Lionsgate's making TV. Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. A TV series out of the Otani. Yeah. Right, Frank? Miga Maga. What is that? Mickey Mantle actually did make both teams, Chris, because he was a switch hitter. He made my righty team. He made my lefty team. Yep. I'm with you too, Constantly. I really think that Shohei Ohtani is just going to have like $20 million waiting for him when he gets out of jail to make it worth it or whatever. But like, I don't know how long he's going to go away for, but he's going to go away for a while. Randy Johnson, Warren Spahn, Koufax, Carlton, Robert. Another great freaking rotation. You know that, Demon D, baby. You know that. Greatest thing in the world. That's right, baby. That's right. All day, every day, Demon D. 161 likes. 161 for the 161. That's fantastic. Thank you, everybody. You guys and gals are the best. Torres does seem like a good clubhouse guy. You know, he has developed a rapport and a close friendship with Juan Soto, so that's important. Um, it feels differently this year, Michael. Like, him not playing well makes him look like less of a fit, and that's. But then, like, you could have said the same thing about Judge for the first month of the season, month and a half, because he wasn't doing anything either. So I don't know, you know. But I mean, I think Torres is going to be moving on after the season, regardless. Clemens, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Ron Guidry. I mean, yeah, Jack. I mean, yeah, yeah. Did the Celtics win? Did they beat the Cavs? 89-71 Mavericks. Okay. Okay. And I do think I think he knows too that they're not going to re-sign him. That's probably part why he's in his own head. So we need him to hit. We need him to be more productive. At the very least, be a productive member towards the second half of the season if he stays, or give himself enough trade value as possible. Would I re-sign Torres if it's the only way Soto resigns? That's a good. I mean, that's a serious hypothetical. Mm, no, I would take my chances with Dominguez and Jones. And I would just re-sign Verdugo too. Judge is definitely heating up. He is definitely heating up, and I love it. Yeah. Would you, Godzilla? What's your take? What would you do? Celtics did win. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, Judge home run was a massive home run. Bob Gibson, Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, Greg Max, Pedro. Oh, all righty rotation. I like that. Okay. I like it. Power, crafty. I like that. J Value, damn right. He's back. Damn right he is. Yeah, this is a good rotation right here, Ken. This is a great rotation. It's a tough rotation, man. And that rotation up above, was that an all lefty? No, it's not. Okay. Uh, Koufax, Carlton. Oh, yeah, it's fun. All right. Here's Ken's all lefty. Here we go. Okay. Another nasty rotation. Unit, Spawn, Koufax, Carlton. You can't go. It's really hard to go wrong with these rotations. It really is. Like, how the hell do you go wrong with that? How do you go wrong with the all righty one? You can't. You can't. But I want to thank you all for coming on. I will wrap this up now. We're gonna get a shower and get some rest. But I appreciate you all coming on. This was a great conversation. I love your feedback. You gave me some, you gave us some great feedback and perspectives and great comments. You guys are fantastic tonight. I really appreciate you all coming on. And thank you so much for hitting the like buttons. If anybody in here hasn't hit the sub button yet, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Tech, and yeah, I was kind of hoping they would have added Hector Neris too. But he's with the Cubs, and he's in a good spot. He's in a good spot. So, but again, have a great night, everybody. Peace and love to all of you. Love you all. You are the best family out there, the best Yankee community out there. Don't forget it. It's you guys and gals that make this great. Just trying to follow your lead. Peace. Go Yankees.